We'll put you right there. Hopefully that doesn't fall. Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. If you're new to our channel, this is not like our typical video series. This is a little series that I'm calling Car Chronicles. I've been doing it for a couple months now, I think. I believe this is episode, oh man, I think it's 5 or 6. I'd have to go back and look, but this is whenever I have like a longer drive, I kind of just switch the camera on and ramble a little bit. It's like my diary, if you will. So in today's video, I actually have 2 different things I want to talk about. The first thing is kind of more like personal, in our personal lives. And then the second thing is, it does have to do with eBay. It does have to do with reselling. And I think both things are important to talk about. So yeah. But let me give you just a little bit of background with what I'm doing right now. I'm on my way to a piece of commercial land that we own. If you guys have watched our channel for a while, if you're familiar with our YouTube channel, you would have seen we purchased a plot of land, a commercial piece of property, just like a flat piece of land. And we bought it a few years ago with the intention to build. This was before we bought the property and the warehouses that we have now. I bought this land because it seemed like a really, really good deal at the time. And I still think it was a good deal. So I bought the land, and then what ended up happening is, because it is zoned commercial, it's on a busy street. We went to an architect and we got plans drawn up to tell us like what's the biggest building we can put on this piece of property, because it's a small piece of land, but we wanted to develop it and build somewhere that we could run our business out of, and then possibly even make it like a retail space where people could come in and shop with us. And basically what ended up happening is, because it is just a flat piece of land, there's no utilities, there's no water to the property, there's no electricity. So we would have to do all that, so put all the utilities in, and then develop the property to commercial standards, making sure to put disability standards in place and easements and all this stuff that would make it basically would make the building quite small, even though the land itself it's not huge, but it's not tiny either. Altogether it's about 10,000 square feet of land. But with everything that we had to do, we were only able to build a building that was roughly 1,200 square feet, all said and done. Now, this is probably stuff that we should have found out before I purchased the property, but it was such a good deal that when it popped up on market, I just snapped and I was like, I'm going to buy it. Just, it's a good investment for the future anyway, which I still think it is. But anyway, so we bought this property. We wanted to build a building on it, and then we found out that to do that was going to cost a lot of money, quite a bit more than we wanted to spend to build it. So for us, instead of building on that property and having a 1,200 square foot warehouse all said and done, for roughly the same price, we shopped around and we found the property that we have now, which is massive. It's 5 acres and almost 10,000 square feet of built warehouse space. So we didn't have to build anything extra. We had our space there, and for the same price, we have 5 acres and 10,000 square feet of space. And we could have sold the property, the piece of commercial land that we have, but we haven't done anything with it at all. And I know, like, every time I say that we haven't done anything with the property, most people say, why haven't you done anything with it? You could, put a car dealership on there, or you could put food trucks on there, or you could build pickleball courts, which is what I want to do with it. But no, we haven't done anything with it, mainly because it's just another thing that's added into our already pretty chaotic lives with us running our business and our YouTube channel. And remember, guys, there's only 3 of us. There's myself, Allie, and Callie. And sometimes priorities, take place over other things. So I know we could have done stuff with the piece of property. Luckily for us, the taxes on it are minimal. They're like $600 a year. So for me, the way that I looked at it is, we bought this piece of property, we paid cash for it, thankfully, and it's just been sitting there kind of appreciating in value. And it has appreciated in value almost 3 times, I believe, what we initially paid for it. over the past few years. So we got in at a good price. It's a good piece of commercial property, and if we keep it forever, we keep it forever. I would like to sell it just to get the money, get the investment back to put into the house that we're building out on that acreage that we have. But anyway, all of this being said, to tell you that I'm currently driving to the property right now because a couple days ago, we never check our physical mail. I know it's bad, but we never check it. And Allie checked the mail the other day. We had a letter from the county, and also that was 3 weeks old. So 3 weeks ago, the county sent us a notice saying that our piece of land was out of code. It was overgrown, which is true. It does get overgrown. We usually have it mowed every like 6 months or so, but we haven't done that. And they basically, the notice said we've never had a code violation on this piece of property, and then this note came in, and the grass has been way taller than it currently is. But the notice came in and it said, hey, if this isn't rectified by this date, we're going to charge you $1,000 a day from the date that it isn't rectified. And that was 3 weeks ago. So I'm sitting here in my mind and I'm going, oh my goodness, we're going to owe the county $18,000, because that's when they sent the notice, and I'm freaking out. So we get this notice, and then I'm freaking out. So the next day, I had already scheduled to go play pickleball with my buddy, and we play pretty intense. It's fun games. So I played pickleball out in the sun for like 2 hours, and then right after that, I loaded up his lawnmower and came over here and tried my best to mow the grass, spent hours doing it, and I was exhausted. Now, before everybody jumps in and says you guys should have a riding lawnmower, we do. We have one. It's up at our warehouse. We actually bought it at a garage sale. One of the biggest purchases we've ever made at a garage sale. But we do have one. Unfortunately, I don't have a truck or a trailer to go and get that rider mower. It's up at our other property that we own, which is 40 minutes away, and this property is only 10 minutes away from our house. So I just got my buddy's push mower, and I did the best that I could. I got about halfway done. I like weed whacked the bigger weeds, and then pretty much like turned the mower on its side and pushed it. It's like sled pushes. But yeah, I got about half of it done before I was so tired I had to go home. So today I'm back at the piece of property to finish it up. I gotta try to mow the rest of this down, as much of it as I can, and then let the county know, and then we'll just, we'll have it maintained. But again, this is only the first story of two. I have another story to share with you guys about something that happened on eBay recently, and it's a good story, so hopefully you'll stick around for that one as well. But also, if you guys have ideas for this piece of property, let us know. Like I said, we're probably going to list it on the market and sell it. If I had my way, and had unlimited money, I would turn it into a couple pickleball courts and just make it like private courts, because it's a super cool piece of property. That would be awesome for that. Also, as you can see, the car is going behind me. It's also a very like viewed piece of land, so I do think it would be great for a food truck, or even just putting up like a billboard or something to make some money off of it would be good. So again, if we end up keeping the piece of property, maybe in the future we'll do that. And if you have ideas, let us know. But for now, I need to finish mowing it so we don't get fined $1,000 a day. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll jump back in the car and we'll do the second half of this little Car Chronicles video. Also, guys, I know this is a different type of video than our regular ones, but if you are enjoying these car vlogs, if you want to call them that, I just call them my Car Chronicles. But if you like these videos, please hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing to the channel. All right, let me knock off this mowing. Oh my goodness. We're getting there. It's looking much better. Still have this part to do. Unfortunately, also, there's a ton of trash on the land. There's a ton of like plastic bags and stuff. So after I'm done mowing, I've been moving them out the way, but after I'm done mowing, I'm gonna have to go back and clean all that up as well. Hey, we did it. We did it. Here, look. Check out the after. Is it perfect? By no means, and I still a lot of trash I have to go pick up. Made a pile of trash over there, but hey, look, flat, done. I think it's at least enough to get the county off our backs. All right, y'all. Excuse my excuse my sweat, and I am putting my sunglasses on. I apologize. I know some of you guys don't like when I wear my sunglasses in these videos, but there's sweat dripping into my eyes and it's sunny, so. All right, so yeah, I got the grass mowed. I mean, I must say it does look 1,000 times better. Is it perfect? No, not at all. But I think it's, like I said, I think it's enough to at least get the county off our backs for now. The other thing, by the way, I wanted to say or address, because I know I can feel this comment coming. I know people are going to be like, you guys have money. Why didn't you just pay someone to mow the grass for you? It would have been a lot easier. And yeah, you're right. Could have done that. I just wasn't sure how, like, what the timing would be if someone could get out here fast enough. And then also, honestly, it kind of sounds bad, but I've kind of wanted to punish myself for letting the land get to this point and not maintaining it to the point where the county decided they needed to threaten to fine us $1,000 a day. So yeah, maybe this pain that I put myself through, hours of mowing this grass, will remind me in the future to take care of my stuff. You know what I mean? Anyway, the land looks good enough anyway. If anybody wants to go in and invest with me on putting up a couple pickleball courts, let me know. I honestly think it would be a good investment. I might look into it seriously. I think I could put at least 2, possibly up to 4 pickleball courts on that land. So anyway, that's done. Got that out of the way. Heading back home now. But anyway, the second story that I wanted to share with you today, the second part of this Car Chronicles, is about eBay. And I think that if you watched the last Car Chronicles video that I did, this one might resonate with you a little bit because I switched it up, you know? So here's what happened. Oh man, sweating in this grass all over me. Here's what happened. I had an item up on eBay, another like motocross, I guess, racing type t-shirt, Honda Oakley, an older one. Had it up for $175, and kind of like in the last video, I got a message, unsolicited message from a potential buyer or an eBay member that said something to the extent of, are you really thinking you're going to sell it for this amount, or are you waiting for that magic number, you know? And instead of responding back in a negative way like I did to that previous comment on the last video, I decided to, you know, learn from my mistakes and check my emotions, and I just responded with, yeah, I'm just going to wait for that magic number. And then the person messaged me back again and said, well, if you want, I have $75 waiting for you when you're ready to sell it. Which honestly, I don't really get offended that much by low offers. It's up for $175. They offered $75. And the cool thing about that particular item is that I've already made money on that purchase. Like, I bought a storage unit out from somebody else, and I've already made money from that purchase. Like, there was that one Jeff Hamilton jacket in there that we sold for almost $800. So we already are like in profit on this stuff. So anyway, I messaged back. At that point, I was like, well, if you're willing to pay $75, maybe you'll come up to $125, or maybe you'll counter and we'll settle at $100 or something like that. So I sent a polite message back and I said, if you're willing to meet me at $125, I'll take $50 off and it's yours. And then he sent another message saying that the shirt would be actually used in racing, and Oakley is one of his sponsors, and it would be used the way it's intended to be used, which I love. Anytime I can like actually get vintage to the rightful place where it's being used, especially something like that, it's being appreciated and worn and used, I'm all for that, right? So anyway, we started talking about vintage, and I mentioned that we're Ralli Roots, because our eBay store, that particular eBay store, is the Hip Lion, and the only way you'll know that it's associated with Ralli Roots is if you go to the actual store page itself, and then you'll see us, and I think it says like the official eBay store of Ralli Roots. But he didn't know that, and I casually mentioned it, not trying to like say anything, but I mentioned it. And he responded with this message that it touched me. I'll just put it that way. You know, it really made me feel like, it made me feel bad about ways that I've responded to people in the past. And then it also made me feel good about like how affected people over the many years that we've been on YouTube. But anyway, the message basically said like he got into reselling, into vintage, into reselling because of us, and also Paul Cantu. And shout out Paul Cantu, definitely one of like the OG thrifters out there, who's inspired a lot of people to go into thrift stores and flip stuff for a profit, especially vintage. Even me, actually, I've watched Paul Cantu's videos as well. And so he said that, and you know, he was like, I've watched you guys for years, I've been through all of this stuff, and you guys helped me, you know, build to where I am now. And I've been watching your videos since 2016, since we were in the old warehouse. So that touched me, and I felt an opportunity to give back a little bit at this point. And I just said, listen, I'm already in profit on this item, and this person is going to be using this shirt for what it's intended to be used for. So I just sent back a message and I said, hey, send me $1 offer, cover the shipping of the item, and it's yours for free, basically for free. Just, you know, pay the $1 offer. So he sent me a $1 offer, I accepted it, and then he found us on Instagram and sent me, I'm not going to go, because this is, you know, obviously personal information. I'm not going to mention who the person is. I'm not going to mention their eBay username, anything like that. But he found us on Instagram and sent us a voice message. And he told us this crazy story about how he was jumped by 3 people. He was hit in the back of the head with a hatchet, had to be airlifted by helicopter, almost died, was in a coma. The people who attempted to murder him were caught and were given 20 years in jail. And after that, he went through like a bout of depression and anxiety, and like, you know, didn't know where his life was going. And just this little thing of me giving him this shirt just made him feel like a human, like a whole lot better. And as someone, me personally, someone who has suffered with depression in the past since I was a teenager, the way that I deal with my depression is by working out. You know, if it wasn't for me finding wrestling as a kid, I don't know what would have happened. But even as an adult, I work out to alleviate some of that depression and stress, and it runs in my family. But anyway, I felt for him, and I sent him back a message just letting him know that, and letting him know that that's one, it's an insane story. I'm glad he's okay. And to go through that, to go through something like that and come out on the other side, to me, you can believe what you want, but to me, that means that you are put on this earth for a reason. And if he doesn't know that reason yet, I'm sure he'll find it in the future, you know. I like to believe that anyway. But yeah, I mean, it's such a drastic comparison to the other message that I got from that eBay buyer, and then I responded negatively, and that message ended negatively. And then in this case, I responded positively, and it ended in a really positive light. So that's the second story. I hope you enjoyed today's Car Chronicles. I am absolutely beat. I'm gonna go home, shower, maybe have a glass of wine, pet the dogs, cook a steak, and enjoy my weekend. But thank you all again. I appreciate it. Please, if you don't mind, show some support by hitting the thumbs up button on this video and consider subscribing to the channel. And I will have more videos like this out and more reselling videos. If you want to join our reselling group, you can go to rallyroots.com. And that's going to be about it. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching. I'm Ralli Roots. Later. Bye.